this is modified the distribution method. Okay, especially we are using this is for the purpose of the optimistic solution. Okay, it means the whatever the solution you are getting that has going to provide the optimal solution or not, to identify that one. For example, one transportation problem is there. Okay, in that if there will be a possibility of the equal penalty factors are arised. Okay, during the moment there will be a possibility of deciding the particular row or the particular column from that. Okay, in case of VAM method. But in case of northwest corner method, you are going to make the selection of the particular value corresponding to that of the coincidence. But you are not thinking that which coincidence which is to be happened is having a least transportation cost or not. Because you don't think on it, then directly you are choosing, then you are making the allocation. Okay, that has been done in case of northwest corner method itself. Okay, during that moment, the whatever the value which is to be evaluated from the transportation problem, okay, that may differ. For example, one assumption with respect to that value, you may getting 720 rupees, then another you may be getting 920 rupees. Just an example. Is this values will differ with respect to the each of the evaluation. But if making that assumption with respect to that value, whether we are going to choose for higher values means obviously which it is increasing the cost. Okay, if you are going for the lower values, is there any possibility to reduce this cost? That also you have to think. Then among that, what value evaluated is optimal or not? That can be get decided by this Modi method itself. That itself is called as a modified distribution method. Okay, what I'm writing on screen is visible now. Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Drop your hands. Here, first step is that you have to find the initial basic solution for the given transportation problem using any one of the three methods. Okay, one is least counter. Okay, means whatever the least cost is there, we are considering. For that, we are going to allocate the supply and demand based on the requirement. Okay, that is one method. Another is northwest corner method. That is the vertical moment, then the horizontal moment. Corresponds that what the coincidence value which is to be present will be deciding to allocate the particular demand and the supply based on the requirement. Then third method is VAM method. Okay, in that VAM method, what we are doing, we are going to make the evaluation of the row penalty and the column penalty. In that row penalty and column penalty, we are going to decide which is having a highest penalty to be considering for the allocation of the transportation cost based on the availability of supply and the demand. Okay, these are the what? Three methods we are going to consider to make the initial basic feasible solution. Okay, once you got the initial feasible solution, what you have to do, you have to make the set of numbers corresponding to the UI and VJ. Okay, UI with respect to that of the row values, VJ with respect to that of the column values. Okay, those values are to be get defined with respect to that of UI plus VJ equal to CIJ. Okay, in case of the transportation cost, what is to be present with respect to that, what value you are going to evaluate, that should be satisfied with respect to this equation. Okay, how we are going to consider this one? I will explain with respect to my example. Okay, with respect to that occupied cell itself. Okay, here, whatever transportation problem solution if you got by using any one method of the three methods of the transportation solution, in that you have to find a maximum number of allocation. Maximum number of allocation with respect to the row or with respect to the column. That element you have to make as a 0. Okay, whether with respect to the column or whether with respect to the row. But any one you can do, not for all. But if it is happening multiple number, what which is to be present is more than 1. Okay, during the moment arbitrary you can choose any value. Any one row or column you can choose, then you can proceed for evaluation. Okay, later you have to make the evaluation for each empty unoccupied cell to find UI and Vj written in bottom left corner of the cell. Okay, whatever the cell which is to be created. Okay, in that cell, we have to write at the left corner value what we are going to make the evaluation, particularly in difference with respect to that of the UI and Vj with respect to the transportation cost. Okay, then we have to make the finding of the values of delta ij. Okay, delta ij is nothing but Cij minus Ui and Vj. Okay, for the what? Unallocated cell. Okay, for the particular cell, we are not allocating any demand or supply because that cost might be higher. Because of that reason, we are avoiding it. Okay, according to that, we have to make the evaluation. From that, we will get the optimal solution. If all the values what you are going to evaluate, the delta ij should be greater than 0, then that solution itself is optimum and unique solution. It means other than that, there is no possibility to get the optimal solution. That itself is the final. If not, we will get the some values which is also be less than 0. Okay, then if the delta ij is the greater than or equal to 0, if any one value is 0 in it, okay, the solution is optimum. Whatever the solution we got now, that is optimum. But there will be a possibility the alternate solution might be exist. For example, I have told here na, the equal penalty factors are happen means this moment arbitrarily you are choosing the particular row or column. But another solution also might give the optimal solution or not. Possibility is there. You may get, okay, previously I have chosen this value, then I can get 920. But in another way, if I choose another two value, then I will get 721. How can I tell this 920 is optimal? It can't. This moment, the value might be equal to 0 in that particular cell. Okay, if it is less than 0, negative values, then it is not optimal. Okay, then you have to make the improvement with respect to that of the total evaluation of the cost. Okay, this is the method with respect to that of the evaluation for the delta ij. Next, step 5, the select the empty cell. Okay, for that the non-activity what which is to be there to be made the closed solution corresponding to the horizontal and the vertical line which is to be occupied. Then you have to go for the allocation. Okay, then we have to make use of another method to make the proper allocation, because whatever the method you are going to use, from that method, if you are not going to get the optimal solution, then until and unless we will get the optimal solution, we have to repeat it. Then whichever the cost we are going to get less will provide the optimal solution. Okay, to identify that optimal solution, then you are going to make use of this modified distribution method.